Hey everybody, this is Rake Mike coming at you from the Pacific Northwest. Here's my new Harbor Freight 6x8 greenhouse. Not the easiest thing in the world to build, but thanks to a couple YouTubers, it was bearable. It was okay. First off, I would like to thank Blake Kirby from Daddy Curb's Homesteading. He has an unbelievably awesome video on how to put this thing together. I looked at the instructions and they looked unreadable almost. Watched his video 3 or 4 times, read the instructions again, and then they actually made sense. After that, it was really a piece of cake. Also like to thank Grow Your Heirlooms for the upgrades that he found on a larger model of the Harbor Freight. To help secure the panels and make it windproof. I put mine next to a existing shed here to try to help the wind. This right here is south facing, and this would be the east, and most of my wind comes this way, so most of it's blocked. But I don't want to build a whole structure like this and then lose it in the wind one night. I haven't put the floor in yet because I wanted to show you how I did the foundation inside. Let me take you inside here for a quick peek. So I did the pier block foundation inside here. My ground sloped a little bit, so I had to dig it down and put the pier blocks in there. One note of caution when you're building the frame for the base, when you're building the foundation, I built it to exact specifications, and yeah, you guessed it, it was off. It was good lengthwise, but widthwise it was off by about 1/4 inch. So I left plenty of room, luckily, and did not secure the foundation totally until I put the bottom frame rails on, and there was a discrepancy, so I could move this pier block right here in a little bit to compensate. I'll take you outside and show you how I trimmed the 4x4 on the edge here. Right there, I had to cut a little bit of that off, you can see, to make everything line up. That pier block that was in the middle there, I moved in that way, and instead of pulling up this board right here, I just notched it out so that that would fit over there just perfectly. Showing you back inside real quick. I did get one automatic vent opener. That's right here. Worked out pretty well. You can see it's open a little bit right now. It is about 65 degrees in here, so it's cracked just a little bit. This thing is fully adjustable right here. If you push it open, it's going to be right there. You can push it open and then adjust it to stay open, and that kind of adjusts your temperature. So you have to play with a little bit on what you want to keep your temperature at. The other side is just a manual opener. Hope this video part is coming out with the lighting. It's getting a little late in the day there, but it's a manual rod that you just open by hand. So I just went with one automatic opener. Other than that, inside, I chose to dig down. I have not put the floor in here yet. I'm going to go with a wood chip floor. I got good drainage here. There's no issue of water puddling or swamping out or anything like that. Got a temporary heater in here just for the moment because I have a few tomato and pepper starts. After I get the floor in here, I'll put in a whole bunch of these shelvings around the edges, because they're free. It'll work good for me. That's all I'm really going to use the greenhouse for right now, is for starts. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it's just nice to get your starts going in March, February or March. But I'd like to keep the temperature at least in the mid 40s, upper 40s. So I have the little space heater, put it on low. It keeps the greenhouse so far upper 40s with the very low setting. Inside here, these panels were really flimsy. A lot of gaps in the tops. They would flop around a lot. So what I did, I just took a little piece of styrofoam, put it right in there just to keep it tight. Because when the wind would kick up, these things would just rattle around. Whap, 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 whap. So I put those in the top. On the outside part, it can't push out because there's a lip up there. So this just fills the gap and keeps these from rattling. On the lower side, I got some small wood shims and then screwed them from the outside in, because again, these would also rattle. You can see there's a gap right here, and I'll show you on the outside why there's a gap out there. When you put in these top panels, you have to ensure that they come over this gutter, because when the rain comes down here, you want it to drop in the gutter. If you position these panels back up and down, the water's going to go into this inside channel, and water will back up into these panels, and it'll get all mildewy and green and nasty. So you want to make sure that you have a slight overlay right here. The problem with that was there was no support in the middle. So these were just floppy. Even though you have your clips on the sides, the middle is not supported. So I put in a spacer, wood spacer, and then used roofing screws that have a rubber grommet. Just like this. Pre-drilled through the panel, through the wood, and through this aluminum frame, and then drove these down very gently. You want to set your drill not to crimp this down. You just want it to be secured. So this is not going anywhere, but you don't want to crush. You don't want to crush your panels. So now I have very solid roof panels. On the side panels, I also did the same technique by pre-drilling right through between the cells, and then through the aluminum on the inside, and again use this same screw with the rubber grommet to keep everything watertight right through there on the top, one on the top and one in the middle on the bottom. Now you see that screw that has the washer on it. They recommend putting about 4 of these simple screws down each side. But the problem is that frame is really thin aluminum, and if you get any big winds, this aluminum will pull right past that screw. Will pull right past that screw. So I wanted better stability, so I put in an extra screw with a washer to get more surface area to hold this lip down. And I did that, one on each one of these sections. On the back and front, on this vertical support here, or sorry, horizontal support here, I did the same thing. Screwed in, pre-drilled the hole, and then screwed in this same screw with the rubber grommet on each spot right there. The door was quite a challenge. it went together pretty good. Took some adjusting. When you're putting this thing together, make sure you leave everything loose, please. Just finger tight everything until you get your panels in and secured. And then go back in and tighten everything up. It does not come with a handle. I bought 2 of these handles, one for the outside, one for the inside. You can see there. Bolted it from one side and put a lock washer and a nut on the back side, so they use the same holes. So there's one on the inside, one on the outside, using the same holes. Works pretty well. It was a screen glass door lightweight handle is what it was called. Couple bucks a piece, but works really well. The seals seem to be decent. Each side of the door frame, this one is bowed kind of like that, and that one is bowed a little bit like that. So when the door is closed, there is a slight gap at the bottom and a slight gap at the top up here. Nothing too bad. I wouldn't worry about it. If you really were worried about it, seen some other guys put some weather stripping on the inside, down a little bit, and then from the bottom up a little bit to compensate for that. But everything turned out really well. When I was putting it together, I thought this was the flimsiest POS I've ever seen in my life. After I got it together, this thing is really, really stable. I was really impressed with how this thing went together. It does not move. It's really important to get your foundation set and get it nice and level, and then after that, when you put it together, have a helper. I did not. It would have been very helpful. Stuff wanted to fall over and blow away, even with the little 2-mile-an-hour gusts we got here. On the outside, I just did wood chips for now and cardboarded under them. So on the inside, you can see I haven't did anything in here yet. Just wanted you to be able to see the pier blocks. I chose to dig this out to keep it lower out of the wind instead of building it up to put it higher in the wind. And I only did that because we have great drainage here. So I'll just put some wood chips in here. It'll help keep the moisture in here also, because I can water the wood chips, and wood chips hold that moisture real well. So that's it, guys. Thanks for looking, and make sure you check out Blake Kirby at Daddy Kirby's Homesteading. He's got the awesome video on how to put this baby together and grow your heirlooms. Showed me how to secure it by taking care of these panels, because these panels will blow out this way. They will blow out this way with the door open and you get a gust of wind. This was not designed to hold the panels from blowing outwards. It was designed to have the panels not blow inwards from outside forces. So those clips hold it from coming in, but you got to do these screws and supports to help things from blowing out. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Happy gardening. I'm out.